everybody. And when I say everybody, everybody, a good friend of mine, somebody very close to me said, Anton, I don't understand. I don't understand what is going on out here in these streets. And I said, well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and try to explain it to you a little bit better. But everybody is saying that their mortgages are doubling. And I want to give you some context so that you can avoid it, so that your mortgage doesn't go from $3,832 to $7,200 a month. And then you wind up losing your home. This is what happens, all right?
So something life-altering has happened to me and my family, and I've been debating about whether I want to talk about it or not. But I just saw a TikTok of a guy that
You think I should get the Navigator over the Rolls Royce? The Cullinan? The Nav over the Cullinan? You know, my tour gonna go much easier if I pull up in the Cullinan over the Nav. It's like the Corvette, right? If you go out of town, the Corvette is a big deal. But here in Detroit, the Corvette is just a Corvette because everybody that get a sports car usually get a Corvette. So if you get a 911 or you get a Ferrari or something like that, you out of there. But if you get a Corvette, you might be pulling them next to Unc, and he got a Corvette also. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
went through the exact same thing. The only difference was, in my opinion, it's worse for my family than what he went through. But I just saw that like he got through it, and so I'm gonna go ahead and share my story. And another the huge reason why I also didn't want to share it is because
I
it's
hear you,
embarrassing,
Victory.
and I know it's like our fault, and we should have done our research, and we should have known better.
The lamb is
So
coming,
the
SC.
blame
We
is
already
on
got that on
us,
order.
but you live and you learn, and we've definitely learned from this experience. But what happened is that we purchased a home last year, last December. We moved into it was our
Email me,
second home,
John
so we had
Stomp.
sold our first home, and we were able to purchase the second home. It was a beautiful home. The price was higher, definitely higher than our first home, but it was something that was doable for us, and it was our dream home. And we thought that we were going to raise our children in this home, and we are going to have this home for a very long time.
When y'all buy these homes, right, and you say, okay, well, you know, it was more than double of the house that I had, and the mortgage is $3,800, $3,900 a month, which also does not include maintenance and utilities and all of these things. When y'all think about it and you say, all right, I'm about to be paying $3,900 a month, basically $4,000 a month for 360 months, right? When y'all think about that and y'all make that decision, do you think to yourself, like, man, this is a lot of money and I might get laid off, or life may happen, or I may have a medical emergency, or I might get pregnant again and have to quit my job or something? Do y'all think about that? Do y'all think about that? Like, how secure do you have to be? How much money do you have to have in the bank to put 20% down on the home and still get a mortgage? I'm assuming that they put 20% down and get the mortgage at $4,000 a month and still have some left over to where you feel comfortable. Is it like 6 months? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? So that means that you would have to have what, 50 or $100,000 in the bank? What? I know interest rates play a factor, but let's say you got a 30-year mortgage. How much is the home if you get a 39,000 or 3,900 or $4,000 mortgage? Now remember, that mortgage also includes insurance and it also includes escrow, so that's not the total cost. But in general, you know, that's not the mortgage by itself. But in general, when you're paying $4,000 a month and your insurance and your property taxes and your mortgage, like, how much do you feel secure with in the bank to where it's like, okay, I'm secure that I'll be able to get through these 360 payments?
And the mortgage was 3832, which might seem high for some, but for us it was fine. Could do that. And so then in February we received the new mortgage for the year, that had like the escrow and all that, and it showed that we had an escrow shortage of $23,000 because whenever they had calculated the mortgage and the property taxes back in whenever we had purchased the home, they calculated it for the land. They didn't take into account that a home was going to be on the land.
No, they took into account. You guys are not taking it into account. So, a lot of people are getting these new bills. Remember when Kamala Harris was running around saying, hey, we don't have enough homes in inventory, so we're going to build 3 million new homes and let migrants continue to come over here inside of the United States of America. Remember when she was saying all of that? Well, one thing that people are not considering when they get these homes or you buy a home and all of that is that with your whole narrative of generational wealth, the value of the property goes up, which means your property taxes go up. And most mortgage companies want to protect their investment, so they don't let you pay your property taxes separately. They include it as a part of your payment to the mortgage company. So let's say your mortgage is, I don't know, $2,500 a month, and then your property taxes is $800 a month, and then your insurance is, I don't know, $100 and some dollars a month or something like that. And let's say that total, it gets up there in the 35, 45, 50, whatever. Let's say in total, it get up there to the $3,500, $3,600, $3,700 total. Your mortgage is 20 something. And then the escrow that they need, escrow is basically the amount of money that they're holding in reserve so that they can disperse it over to the county when your taxes is due. And what happens is if you have an escrow shortage, so let's say that they built your home, right? And you got it from Pulte Homes or Lennar Homes, and they build you a home, and the property taxes that you're paying on the land that you own is assessed without the property on it. That means that it's going to be little or nothing. The property taxes that you pay on it is not going to be relevant compared to when they reassess it and they appraise it once they built that property. So now your lender, your mortgage person sold you on, hey, you should get a new build. Hey, you should get a new build. And when you calculated how much money it was going to cost, and a bank said, hey, listen, this is what your mortgage, your 30-year fixed rate is going to be. They are not responsible for educating you or telling you that your property taxes is going to explode. It is going to be significantly more because when you improve the land and build a house on it, then the value of the property is going to be up significantly more, which means that you're going to have an escrow shortage. The mortgage company is going to disperse the money over to the county no matter what. They're going to send it over there. They're going to collect it from you on the back end. So then what you're going to have is a payment that jumps from $3,832 to $7,200. The amount that you're still paying to the mortgage company is going to still be the same. But the escrow shortage to catch up on those property taxes is going to be a killer. The biggest thing that kills you when it comes to a home is not the mortgage payment. All right. Most people can scrounge up. They'll go and drive Uber. They'll do whatever it is that they got to do in order to get that mortgage payment. They'll lose their car. They'll lose everything. But they going to keep a roof over their head. That's the last thing that they're going to let go. That and a good piece of box if you a simp. That and a good piece of box. They're going to make sure that they take care of that. The biggest costs that you're going to incur is the maintenance and the property taxes. The maintenance, the property taxes, homeowners association, and HOA fees. I beg people every single day, for the love of God, do not, should not, could not, will not, you should not go and get a property that has HOAs. It is, especially if it's a condo, especially if it's a building, because it is going to go up. Because then when they got to fix the elevator, or y'all having structural damage, or it starts to sink because you bought it over in Miami, your HOA fees are going to explode because they're going to have to get that fixed and repaired so that the entire building don't collapse and everybody lose the value of the property. I'm telling you. They built these little rinky-dink homes. They value it based off of whatever the comps are in the area, right? I don't even like building in these subdivisions that they all look like the same homes, because Is no differentiation, and it's much more difficult to sell it because you're competing against the company that built the homes, because they probably building some more right next door in the area or right across the street. You're competing against them. You're competing against your neighbor who got a cookie cutter home that looked just like yours, and that home is a piece of shit. The walls is thin, the insulation ain't in there right, the trim and the molding ain't right, everything is messed up. You're going to be dealing with stuff on that home all day, every day. You're going to be trying to get a warranty, get them out there to fix it. Oh, man, there was water leaking in the basement. It got there, got this. If you don't have an individual home that's built from somebody that actually understands the soil, got the surveyors out there, did it the right way, trust me, I know. Make sure y'all jump the bag. Make sure y'all tap into the Bag Chasers. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Join the Bag Chasers, because we got Block Club coming up, and I give you real life game from a person that actually builds homes. I built them from scratch with my own money. I don't finance it. I don't push paper through the banks. I don't ask for financing and none of that. We put our own money up. The second most important decision that you ever make in your life financially, and you're probably fumbling. You're probably messing it up. Actually, the third. The third biggest financial decision that you ever make in your life is going to be the home that you purchase, because most people's net worth is tied up in their homes. Second biggest financial decision is the career field that you go into, because you have to be able to earn money and you are your own biggest asset. The biggest financial decision that you make in your entire life is the person that you close your eyes next to. It's the person that you get with. Whether you have a baby with them, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. I write the check before the baby come. Who cares? Or, because you got to close your eyes next to them, and they be staring at you in your sleep because they obsessed with you. You're going to be dealing with stuff in that house forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. 100%.
So whenever they realized, oh, there's a home on the land, then it gave us an escrow shortage of that $23,000. So our mortgage went from $38,32 to around $7,200 a month, $7,200 and change. So $3832, affordable. $7,200, no way we can do that. No way at all.
Which means that now you are going to be in jeopardy of losing what? Your home.
Whenever somebody had mentioned how, a new home, they probably did calculate it land value, so it's probably going to go up. I was thinking, oh, maybe it'll go up $1,000, and I was prepared for that. Like, okay, we can do it. We can, even though to me, like, that's expensive, like a $4,800 mortgage is a lot. It is, Angela. For me.
Most people are built to rent.
I was like, we can do it, no problem.
Most people are built to rent.
But to go to $7,200 a month, like, no, I live in Texas, and I could probably be living in a mansion or something close to a mansion, paying $7,200 a month. Our home is not.
But guess what? No, you couldn't. You know why? Because you would still have to pay property taxes on the mansion. When I think about what type of home that I want or what type of home I'm going to move into next, a lot of times, the thing that I think about, I don't think about the cost of the home, because I could eat that. The home is going to be paid off no matter what. Whatever it is that I buy or whatever it is that I build, I'm going to do it cash. The problem is that, and my biggest problem, and I be thinking to myself, oh, property taxes. It's the property taxes. Every time it's the property taxes. Property taxes is going to be the determining factor for what your rent going to be when I'm going to charge you in rent. Because like here in Michigan, your property taxes is different, whether it's your personal property, like the property that you live in as your residence, versus if you renting it out. Yep. It could be sometimes 40 to 50% more, depending on how you designate it. You got to understand your area. You cannot live in a mansion for $7,200 a month. You know why? Because it's not going to be $7,200 a month. It's going to be significantly more, because you're going to have to pay property taxes. Property taxes are the devil. The devil. It's actually, property taxes is a demon. Income taxes is the devil. Income tax is the devil.
Or I could have 2 homes in Texas for that price. I could have 2 mortgages to pay $7,200 a month. Even three homes So that was just ridiculous to me. And like I said, I know we are to blame. We should have done our research. The realtor that we had, she was not a good realtor.
No, don't blame it on
And
the realtor.
the mortgage company was the seller's mortgage company, the one that they went with and recommended. So I'm sure, they knew what they were doing. They knew that they calculated it land value, and they showed us that 3832 because they knew that's what we could afford and we would purchase the home. And they knew that if they had told us the truth of how much it would be, that we probably wouldn't have purchased the home. So they knew what they were doing. So it's, while it is our fault, we should have done the research and found out, that the price was only land value and it wasn't calculated correctly. I still feel like they, just being decent humans, they should have let us know that it's going to go up. So we have this escrow shortage. Thankfully, I called. So the mortgage company sold it to another mortgage company. So I called them, and what they did, I let them know, I'm like, we're going to sell our home. We're going to put it on the market. Like, we can't afford this. So they said, okay. So what they did was they stretched that 23,000 escrow shortage. They stretched it out for 3 years, which dropped our mortgage to now, I think it's 5,166 is what we're paying right now, which is still a
Sound like a
lot.
trap. It's a trap.
But
It's a
our home is
trap.
for sale. It's been for sale for a little over 40 days now.
I knew
we
it.
haven't had any interest in it. So
I knew it.
This is already.
I knew it. 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 Yeah, I knew it. I didn't get this far in the video, so I'm seeing this part for the first time. People are moving out because they can't afford their homes. Once them property taxes hit, it force you out of your home because you can't afford it along with the mortgage. Stretch it out for 3 years like a Klarna payment. And ain't nobody interested in buying that home. Nope. 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 Y'all gonna have to move. You're gonna have to move into an area that you can afford. Stop moving into these areas with these high values that you can't afford. It's not built for you.
We're going on our second month that we're paying that 5,000 and change on the mortgage, and every month it's like, praying somebody, we need a buyer, and we dropped the price. We've already dropped the price 3 times.
Nope, no interest.
It is what it is. We'd never expected in our wildest dreams that this would happen, but people need to be aware whenever you purchase a new home, you need to make sure that you ask your realtor, ask the mortgage company, are you calculating it on just the land, the property taxes, or are you calculating it as though there's a house on that land? Because
So be careful. Everybody is complaining because everybody got pushed into home ownership, but they truly couldn't afford it. I like both. I don't necessarily care about owning the place that you live in, but then if you got to do it, then you got to do it. I prefer buildings. I like concierge. I like pools that's maintenance free. For me, I like having them bring my food up to the house. I like if something break, you could just call somebody to do it. Yeah, man, I like both. When you start to calculate it honestly, it starts to make sense depending on what your lifestyle is. So that's just me in particular.